low for you or too high for you? Never?
Nah.
Oh, we're too there. Sorry.
Nah, we're good.
We're good. There we go. I gotta turn mine up though. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the All Day Everyday Show. If you're watching on YouTube
Sir.
or listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we welcome you into the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. Got a short one today because, got sick last week. Not going to talk too much on that little vid action. But we didn't get a chance to go over the Super Bowl and what happened. So pretty short stuff here today. Want to get this out for you guys. Hopefully you're seeing it around lunchtime or so tomorrow. And let's fucking get into it. We had some bets that won. We had a good live bet. I had the Chiefs plus 7.5, but that's obviously not the story. The story is how the Eagles decided to blow this game at halftime.
Second of this guy just shitting on it.
10-point lead at halftime. I took Chiefs plus 7.5 rated half.
Keep going, I guess, bro.
And damn, did not think it was gonna happen. When they went to halftime, I said it to myself. Well, I'm gonna have to, as a Giants fan living outside of Philly, I'm gonna have to go through and see all this parade and bullshit happen because I thought the game was over at half. Over. But I'm just curious to...
Yeah, you texted me. I got fucking pissed, bro. I hated that. What the fuck, bro?
Because I genuinely thought it was fucking over. And everyone's now going to be like, you can't, you can't count out Patrick Mahomes and this and this. It wasn't even that, bro. The Eagles were outplaying them. They really were. But I'm just curious to see, from this collapse, we saw the Tony punt return. Jalen Hurts literally doing fucking everything and then more. And it just doesn't pay off. I'm just curious to see, as an Eagles fan, where you are with a loss like this.
It's football, bro. It just culminates football. You got to play 60 minutes. And, they played 30. You know what I mean? That's the definition of the ball game. But I don't know. I just think my thoughts, there's not many thoughts. Like I said, it was an incredible game. It was a very good football game until... It wasn't until people wanted to get involved that should have been getting involved. But I don't know. I see a lot of people placing blame that just doesn't deserve to be blamed. There's people that don't know football that are saying we didn't adjust or we over adjusted or when it comes down to X's and O's and shit. From my standpoint, what I saw, I think Andy Reid just outcoached us. I think we saw a guy who's played in 4 Super Bowls now and was able to adjust with a lesser team because they were not the more talented team. They were the better team overall, 100%. More discipline, not making as many mistakes. When people talk about little things in football, it's so tremendously huge. Down to little things like communication. They saw the gap in us the first half. They were breaking our leverage with Kelsey in motion. They were getting T.J. Edwards and the nickel safety out of position and breaking them across the middle. They saw in the second half that we're starting to adjust to it point, and then they started faking it. Fucked this up. Then they started doing motion and running the ball down our throats with Pacheco. Andy Reid just coached a masterclass. Patrick Mahomes 180 yards. Second half, it was motion, Pacheco, Juju Smith-Schuster on smash patterns and slants. That was straight Bieniemy and Reid masterclass right there. Plus, Patrick Mahomes did 100% battle through a warrior. That 30-yard run he had at the end, you could see, I think he hurt his ankle. It wasn't the first half he took a weird step. I literally said he takes one weird step and it's fucked. And I think that's exactly what happened.
And then he had, when he tried to run out of the pocket and get, an extra 6 yards to try to get a first down. He got tackled, and that's when
he was fucking moving.
I thought that was over. I thought he wasn't gonna.
Nah, that wasn't the GOAT shit I thought. When I said he had to be on some GOAT shit that I thought he was gonna do, but that's still another kind of you gotta.
Yeah.
There's not, I don't want to say there's not many guys these days that are going to battle through shit like that. Because I feel like that's just a gash and I'm going to sound like one of them old hogs. But I hope more people see that and be damn, I'm going to start doing that in the regular season or something. This big divisional game, I'm going to just lay down the line like this anyway because it's inspiring me. I see how he leads his team. It sets a culture. They all ride behind him. This is probably the worst team he had in the championship game and probably the best performance they've had as a team in the championship game, which says a lot about probably him, Andy Reid, and Bieniemy. So, but fuck, that shit is oh my God. I'm trying to just sit, remember all the shit I want to talk about this fucking game, bro. Oh my goodness gracious. People bitching about the penalty call. Come on.
Yeah, where are you? Where are you actually stand on the call? Because a lot of
the worst calls in NFL history.
A lot of the things I've been seeing
where else you could stand
is it was a callable call,
no, it wasn't.
but
it was
not the right time. That's the stuff I'm
shit
seeing.
was not callable, bro. Like that shit was nah. People who are saying that shit's callable, like you're just, I don't know. You're trying to justify your own bias, which is cool, but like corners get taught to track hand on hit. He had hand on hit. We saw they're wearing white. We saw none of this. Like it's just a bad call. But like there's 57 and 24 seconds a game, 57 minutes and 24 seconds of game time before the call that they got to play better football in. So that's all it is. But like micromanaging the call and like people were getting hyped where Bradbury was like, I held him. Like, bro, like y'all are worried about the wrong shit. That shit sucks. I don't even want to talk about the call. Horrible call. There was 57 minutes of game time before that they played A+ football for 30 and like D+ football for the last 30. So like, I don't know. It is what it is, bro. You got to like move on. But anyone saying that shit was like a hold or callable, that's crazy, bro.
What'd you think about the turf and all the money and time that went into that? And then we got guys slipping all over. We got Jake Elliott slipping on a kickoff. We got, both teams switching cleats during this game. I mean,
it sucks, bro. But like the better team dealt with it better. Like, like it's one of those things because a lot of people were like on the radio were bitching about that. And it's like, bro, like we both played on it. We both were slipping. I think it was Mailata that said they were both joking about it.
And Kelsey said it too.
Yeah, so they're both getting fucked. So like someone's got to deal with it better. And plus, I mean, Jake did almost get hurt, which was fucked. And like Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat are two leading sack guys off the edge, which necessarily the edge passing game is not what the Chiefs benefit in. But so that hindered us a lot with that. I mean, Hassan and Joshua, you could see it, were slipping like plenty of times about to get to Pat Mahomes. But I'm sure if we want to go watch the All-22, we could find ways where it was fucking up the Chiefs players too. I'm sure we weren't the only people slipping and sliding out there. If we are, then fuck, oh well. But you can't, like, it in a game where it was that close and it came down to margins like that close, and you could, like, you'd be surprised how many things you could point the finger to. I'm pretty sure if you heard Jason Kelsey talk about, there was one play specifically where he said he called the wrong slide protection, and Jalen Hurts had to scream out the pocket. On that play, AJ Brown was wide the fuck open. Like, and I guarantee you, you wouldn't have to, if you played football at any point in your life, or if you watched football a shit ton the last 20 years of your life, which is probably everyone watching this podcast, you fit in one of those two categories, you could watch that game back for 4 quarters and find 5 mistakes on each team that is glaring on the TV. Like, you know what I mean? Someone's wide open, someone missed the block, QB did this, drop pass, like regular shit. You could find 5 mistakes. Now think about people that have a PhD in football. Like, think about how many mistakes that actually happened in that game before the penalty, besides the slips. Like, it is what it is. You got to play better football in the Super Bowl to win that shit. And I just think we got out-coached. End of the day. It's going to sting. I feel like that, something that I came to a conclusion to, because someone was telling me, like, oh, like, it probably shouldn't sting as much because you guys got the chip already. And I was, like, thinking, like, bro, because, like, I think it was, like, 08 or 09 NFC chip versus the Cardinals, we blew that game-winning drive. That fucking sucked. That was the worst Eagles loss I watched until I think it was like a 13 or 14 playoff loss versus Saints where Riley Cooper dropped the ball. We had a missed kick. That was with Mike Vick and them. I don't remember if Vick played that game. I don't even remember. I was like 14 though. That was a heartbreaker. That was the worst one until it wasn't the worst one. And then like you got this shit. I think like we won the Super Bowl, right? When Alshon dropped the ball, fucking demoralizing. When I gotta watch McDaniels come in versus Seattle and Carson gets his head pile driving the turf, that was demoralizing. Like this was fucking demoralizing. I'm around a lot of people that I really fuck with and care about, bro. That game ended, I said nothing. Fist bumps. And I was gone. Like, I don't know. That one hurt worse than anything. I think there's some, like, because you were young as fuck, though. It's probably the same shit. Like, you get the first one and it's dope. But then, like, I feel like there's, like, pride and, like, other shit kicking in. Like, nah, we can do this. Like, I don't know. I feel like beating a team the first time, like, if you played something or any sport, like, if you beat a team or beat someone for the first time, like, it's lit for sure. You couldn't beat them before. But then when they come play you again and, like, you got to kind of prove that point again that you can do this. Like, this is what you do. I feel like losing that is even, like, damn, like, was that a fluke? Like, can we do it? Like, damn, how hard is this? Like, it took 50 something years to get the first one. Like, is it gonna take another 50 something to get the
But, I
second
mean,
one?
they're almost in
Like,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, damn. Like, we were all talking about how it's gonna take so long to get back after the first one. 17, like actually 17. We were talking about we were gonna get a bunch of them, but that was with Carson. And Carson was gone, so then it was like, all right, we might get another drought. Like, fuck. Then we go right back, and it's like, damn, here's our gold opportunity again. And the way that shit ended was like, just like you can't even. Like, holy fuck. Like, fuck, I didn't even care. There were bets, though. There were bets. There were plenty,
Right.
there were plenty,
Of course there were.
there were
Of course
plenty
there were.
of bets. It wasn't even, like, I don't think I even rationalized with the bets till the next morning. Like, I was like, I swear to God, I was over the loss. Because, like, I just went to bed, whatever, like, woke up over the loss. And I realized, like, wait, we bet, too. Wow. Like, our FanDuel balance is just cleared. There's nothing.
Facts, bro.
I'm like, oh, wow.
That's why I just took the
The
over.
double fucking whammy, the over hit like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, I think like we gotta shine more light on Jalen Hurts in this game because like
Played his dick off.
I
Like,
mean,
the one mistake was the most costly
literally
mistake.
MVP like caliber performance in that
Can't
game.
make that mistake.
And that was a tough one. And what did we talk about like on this podcast?
take
We had
that.
said like, you know, the Eagles lose games when Jalen Hurts turns the ball over. And like it was so costly.
It doesn't even matter how the turnover comes too.
Right. Like, and it was so detrimental of a turnover because of how big that moment
The
impacted.
game was pretty much at the point where it was like foot on the neck. You gotta either step on, like you have your foot on the neck and you're like talking shit, and it's like you either gotta step on him or kill him, or you're taking too fucking long. And that right there was just like he got his breath back and they got back up.
I was not
That shit was
expecting
just
the
fucked.
run game to be solely based around Jalen Hurts in that. I was
mean, Miles
expecting a
Sanders,
lot
like,
more.
He was running with his fucking ass cheeks puckered on the first play. He had like an easy 3 yards. Put your right foot in the ground, cut it up. He ran outside, got himself smacked, almost fumbled on the first play.
Yeah, that's right.
Coaches see that. They're all coaching in their first Super Bowl too, a lot of them. So it's like, I feel like their ass she's kind of puckered up too. Like our main guy isn't like he isn't good to go. We know Kenny G's gonna just lay his dick out there no matter what's going on. So go out there, fuck that. Like we're not even gonna play with him. Do I disagree? No. But I do think Miles Sanders could have contributed to that game, but we still scored 35 fucking points. So it doesn't, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I wish I would have seen more Miles, but I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. That did kind of suck too.
I wanted to just briefly go back to the call again because all media was bitching about like, that's a main reason why the Eagles lost the game. And I'm like,
it's not even like no.
And like, but the biggest thing is like, if that call was not made, and the Eagles ended up winning the game, then all the media would be saying what? They would be sitting there saying, "Oh well, if they call, that's why the Chiefs lost because they didn't call that."
Not that one.
So that's just
There was
bullshit.
one call that they were talking about that they wanted to point that, bro. You would have had like the only reason people were even there were eyeballs on that is because they called it. No one would have gave a fuck if that wasn't called. There was no one going back to that. Him 2 yards off the line of scrimmage.
No one was double taking that if that was not called.
That's what I'm saying. There was one call in the first half where Juju legitimately got his jersey pulled and they didn't call it. And like I feel like if we would
On third down, I remember that.
if we would have won that game, there would have that if there was any call like that would have been the call where people were like, oh well, you got this one. But like, I mean, I think me personally, I mean, I hate that there's 2 times where this happened where Pat Mahomes were like, if they got the ball back again, they would have walked them down. Because I mean, I do think the Bills would have walked down the Chiefs if they got the ball in OT. And I do think if they kicked the field goal there, which on the stop that we did get, because the flag was on third down, we probably would have walked them down. We had scored 35 points. That was a game at a point when we came down, scored, and went for 2 after the Kadarius Toney whole situation, they scored. When that happened, that was like clear cut. Like whoever gets this ball last is winning. Like it was just obvious. And then when they were going down the field, it was like fuck, we lost. Then we give them because when Pat made that 32-yard run, it was like fuck, we lost. Then we give them the third down. It's like fuck, this is the game because if they kick a field goal, this shit is over. And then the fucking penalty call that like. Am I tweaking? That shit looked really fucked though. Like I feel like there was like no reaction. The camera like cut to some view where you couldn't see anybody. The enemy's like sitting there like whatever, like calls the play. I'm like looking there. I'm just like this looks fishy, bro. Like the flag came in mad late. Like I'm like yeah. Like I remember when it first happened. Like everyone's like yelling, screaming, whatever, bitch, and I'm sitting there like just so speechless because I was like. it's actually happening to like us. Like I was like,
Right.
no, like I'm like, yo, like this is like some Ram shit. Like, oh no, like I'm over here. I just remember laughing at everybody, every other fan base. I'm like on Twitter, like the memes is funny, and I'm just like, no, I had to mute Eagles, I had to mute Chiefs on Twitter. Like I'm like, this is fucked, bro. This is not okay. It definitely is not okay to lose like that. Real emotions. Not okay from a fan standpoint, emotional standpoint to lose like that, but you can't blame it on that. But that shit is not okay, bro.
I got to give some credit though and respect to McKinnon because of I think that was one of the biggest plays of the game. But I don't think it's getting enough light because you're talking about a guy like McKinnon right there.
We've seen a lot of people make that play.
Right, but in terms of, I want to score in a Super Bowl and then I got to do that. I
heard some other people doing that shit. Bro, get over his dick.
Nah, you got to give him his flowers, bro.
Nah, it was the only time we could have really been on somebody's cock for that was Ahmad Bradshaw in 2012 because he was like the first one to do it. That's when it was like, oh shit, that was like 200 IQ. Now people do that shit like week 2, bro. Like, nah.
You got to fall down at the goal line.
Bro. Yeah, good play, but like he looked like he was trying to score. I was more like, what the fuck is he doing? More of those than
because that literally said that fall solidified Jalen Hurts was not going to get a chance to get the ball back again.
They knew what it was, bro.
I mean,
even if they did score, that shit was going right to OT. All we needed was like 40 seconds. They could not stop us, bro. It was bad. Like, it was really bad.
Well, let's talk about the opening drives on both teams. Both of these teams literally just walked down the field.
Yeah.
After the Eagles went, I was like, oh, this is a little scarier than I thought. The Eagles look really, really strong. And then the Chiefs answered by, I think it was like a 4-minute drive after that. I'm like, how the hell?
Yeah.
We're marching.
Yeah. Scripted drives. You had 2 weeks to prepare. Just you're on script. It should look clean.
But I just thought Eagles' defense was going to be a little stronger at Pat at the beginning. I thought we might have maybe seen 1 or 2 first downs and a punt from one side.
They script schemes. The motherfuckers are scripting plays over there. Like it's high. It was high. They adjusted really well in the first half. Like that's why I think it was complete out coaching because after the first drive, you saw the clamps got put right down. But to be honest. Like we're talking about people not talking about enough of a group enough or a player enough, bro. The Kansas City Chiefs offensive line should have won MVP. I know you can't give it to a group. Could have gave it to the center. Could have gave it to the guard. Like I think what's the kid's name? I think he's from Oklahoma, right? The center, young bull. I think it's his second year in the league. Super tough. Like super tough. I'm blanking on his name, but super tough. He was hooping, bro. I saw him up in the center moving people the whole game. Pass game, the whole game holding his line. So, I mean, hats off to the Kansas City O-line, if anyone. Because, I mean, Pat was definitely on the lame leg. And, the Eagles' D-line was slipping and shit. But they had a great game. Even the run game and shit, I mean, they did their thing. If there was any person on that team that jumped off the screen, besides me, because I took the fumble back because he was all over the fucking field the entire game. He's the one that fucked up Miles on the first play of the game. God, I'm blanking on names and shit. But nah, I think besides that motherfucker that took the fumble back or the O-line, bro, those were the 2 MVPs of the game in my opinion.
I mean, what we were all speculating about this game at the beginning of the week was, how much pressure is Pat going to be able to deal with all game? And then, yes, he did see it, but the fact that this offensive line did not allow a sack to, guys that...
Jonathan Gannon also puckered his cheeks, too. He played his scheme, but
and I think it's very interesting.
At some point, my brother, you got to tweak and tinker. We understand your whole scheme is getting there with 4, but in 2017, our whole scheme was getting there in 4, and we had the clamps on Gronk through 3 quarters. In the 4th quarter, we played with a different coverage because they were walking us down a little bit. We went to man on Gronk, and that was a drive that Gronk had like 6 catches and a touchdown, remember? And they were like, I think they took the lead or tied it at that point or something like that. And then you saw him adjust back. But even after you adjust one time, Brady and Belichick and them, they have that in their mind that they can do this. When we walk to the line and we check shit, we got to be aware that they're not in that look that they were just giving us. So the fact that we didn't really change the looks a lot, like I said, I haven't watched the All-22, so if there's some motherfucker that has, and we did, let me know. But I did not see a lot more than 4 men getting sent. And I would have liked a little bit of a change up of the looks because you could just tell when they started fucking us up with that half motion shit and people were running around wide open, like, we got to change something.
They ran the same play as Sky Moore.
We got to change something here. I mean, that shit was just fucking our necks up. Like,
that was nuts. I mean, Sky Moore got that same play, and and I saw a clip of coaches mic'd up after that play, and he said, I forget what coach it was. I don't know who it was because it wasn't Spags. It was some defensive coach though, and or some offensive coach comes up to Pat and he's like, "Dude, that motion's killing him. That motion is just killing him.
Can't do anything."
Like they were just all over it. We do have to, in terms of giving certain players respect in this game. Eagles again solidify that they have a number 1 and number 2 receiver out of
and boys,
AJ Brown and
I'll say that
just unbelievable.
The thing I was proud about the Bears is the Hoopers did hoop.
Yeah,
the Hoopers hooped.
Hey,
man.
Dallas Goedert had a great game as well too.
The Hoopers for sure hooped, and I saw get off Quez Watkins' dick too. Like okay, like it would have been a great catch if he made that, but that was not like a routine. Like
yeah, that was a tough.
We're talking about a slot number 3. We're talking about a slot number 3 guy here. Like we're not talking about AJ fucking.
Dude, I saw memes of him.
Understandable. Catch the rock. Like, I was on the same time. I was like, oh, catch the rock, but it wasn't like you see the replay and shit. It's not this. We're talking about like a 50-yard bomb. A guy's on his back, not completely, but he's on his back.
He's got to switch sides.
Nah, it wasn't an easy catch. Do you have to make the catch in the big game? Yeah, but I think obviously emotions are high. We did lose the fucking Super Bowl in a demoralizing way, so like there's just going to be a lot of people pointing shit at certain people. But I just saw a lot of people pointing fingers at shit that was like that's just, what are you even saying, bro? Like there was even, for me, there wasn't even enough people like on fucking punter's ass like that. You could argue that's what cost the game was the punt.
That's what I said.
You could really argue that.
Everyone's bitching about the call, and I'm like, I mean, a play that was way more detrimental than that was Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, it was just a bad punt though. Like any good punt, that does not happen at all. Like the fact that I don't think he shanked it, but he mishit it, and Kadarius Toney can get Kadarius fucking Toney. By the way, that's not like, remember who I'm talking about.
Right.
He catch the ball on a full sprint running at our guys running this way. It's just not okay. And he I think he caught the ball at their like 45, so like right at our midfield line. Like,
and he ran all the way.
I saw that shit and I was just like, this is probably going to the crib. Like
he literally ran all the way to the left side of the field and then cut all the way back and went all the way around to the right side and was running down the right sideline. Like just unbelievable.
I actually think we were in punt right, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he completely missed it. He mishit it to the right because most of our defenders are on the right side. So if you're in punt right, it means we're trying to break it to the right side, and our contained guys are on the left. So I think the fact that he caught that shit running up and then just saw the fucking floodgates to the right side and only contained players. There's like TJ Edwards and like Zach McPherson trying to like scrape on the outside. He's like, fuck, if I just put my foot in the ground and make one guy miss and cut this bitch on the right, I got the punter. Like, fuck. Like, he didn't have to, there was no like catch it back up, make a move. He was just full, and it's Kadarius Toney. Like, oh my God. That shit was, I don't want to even put myself back in that moment, bro. That shit was so bad. Like, there were so many every mistake we made was like, you can't make that mistake right there, bro. Just can't do it. The fumble.
And I again, with the Chiefs, though, I mean, it shouldn't have gotten to that point because they let the Eagles walk down in the fourth quarter and then go for 2 and complete that conversion.
They couldn't stop it, bro. We were going to score at will.
The Chiefs should have had that game locked up before that to have to.
We could have went to OT. They could have scored on a field goal first. I would have literally zero worries. But like we were walking them down.
After half, when they came out and, we're talking about when Patrick Mahomes went down, you go into halftime and it's like, oh shit, what the hell's going to happen? Chiefs are getting the ball. That was such a tone setter. The fact that they were able to get down the field and score in the opening drive of that. If they didn't get a touchdown there, if they punted there, I mean, we're looking at in my personal opinion, we're looking at a whole different outcome of this game.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's, did the Eagles defense fall short a little bit? Yes.
A little bit.
But the offense was right there to get them the momentum that they needed. They just needed 1 or 2 more stops.
Yeah, but there was a couple of mistakes. Like I think we had the longest drive in Super Bowl history, and that shit went for a field goal. Like what the fuck? I'm what I'm saying. In the biggest spots, we fucked it. Like you can't have the longest drive in Super Bowl history against Pat Mahomes and kick a field. And he had to kick a field goal. And, oh my God! There's people that on the 4th and 6 on our own 30, like our own 35-yard line. There's people that are saying that Nick Sirianni had to go for that. By the way, what the fuck? We're on our 30. We're playing Pat Mahomes. Go for it. No, bro. This is what I heard. I got to listen to the radio. On the radio, there was like, you want to talk about being on brand and underdog mentality and Dougie P did Philly and all this and imagine. Bro, no. The only time I was kind of like, Nick, we could go for this when we were in the red zone. But when he kicked it, I understood. I was more mad we didn't get the points. And on the fourth, the one when we're on our side of the field, we didn't go for it. Come on. No one should be complaining about that. If you are, like, you're just living in fantasy land. The game, we could have just completely lost the game right there. I mean, if y'all cool with that, then y'all cool with that. For sure. Because they were trying to compare it to the Zach Ertz one. And the Zach Ertz one, we were like I think in this Super Bowl, we were on our 35 at the most. And in the Zach, in 2017, I think we were on our own 47. Two different worlds. You can get a stop on your 47 and not let up a field goal. You can get a stop on your 35 and they're kicking that bitch, no matter what's going on. So I don't know, bro. There's just a lot of I had to stay off the internet, bro. That shit was just toxic, bro.
Well, if this game has not solidified Jalen Hurts of being a top 5, and you could argue that he might be a top 3 quarterback at this point in the NFL, then I don't know where.
5. We could probably do.
We
could probably do 5.
I can give Jalen Hurts into the top 5.
We could probably do. I haven't tried to do it yet, but we could definitely probably do 5.
Patrick Mahomes is there.
We can't do 3 though. 3's like.
And then I would go Joe Burrow next.
Recency. Joe Burrow next.
That's 2. Over who? Josh Allen, the guy, the turnover king.
My God.
The turnover king?
What you gotta do, bro? What the fucking brain damage did I just... Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the National Football League.
And then I'm going...
I bet.
I'm going Mahomes, Joe, Josh Allen. I'd put Jalen Hurts at 4. And then people
my God.
People are gonna say
I fuck with it, but like my Lord.
People are gonna say they want Trevor Lawrence at 5. People are gonna say they want Justin Herbert at 5. I'm gonna give
more like
I'm gonna give Justin Herbert his piece at 5.
Like it.
And I think that's fair. I don't know. I don't understand how we're still gonna and this is what I love about it too. Like when I said it before, we're gonna continue to see the hate on Jalen Hurts when dude puts up historic numbers in a Super Bowl, and when he was the face of the offense, now, getting close to becoming the face of the franchise. Saw a video of AJ Brown saying,
we anointed another guy for damn near the same thing. Like
AJ Brown said, if
top
they're not
5,
signing him, he's gone, bro.
Top 5 I could do, but I'm not even I'm slow on it's just top 5 season for sure. Yeah, like a top 2 season easily. Top 5 body of work. Like, we're talking about bodies of work. Are we talking about the best players in the league in 2022 or the bodies of work? We're talking bodies of work. Like, where the fuck is Mr. Ayahuasca at? Like, he's still better than half the motherfuckers too. Like, let's not tweak now. You put Joe Burrow as the second best quarterback in the league. That's
yes, bro. Yes, and I have no problem doing it. There's no problem at all. This is what it is, and it's tough because
has he done more than Jalen Hurts for real?
See that? I mean, that's the question there that people are...
It's not even a question.
Like I personally can't do that. I can't put Jalen at 2.
So Joe Burrow's run was better than Jalen Hurts' run in whole year. Joe Burrow's about to win MVP. They couldn't win without Joe.
They definitely could not have won.
We didn't really see it, but all right.
Yeah, they there's no way they could have won without Joe.
All right, we just didn't see it. Like,
it's comparable in a way.
No, it's not.
It's comparable in a way. I can see how you want to give Jalen Hurts the edge in that sense in the comparison to Joe Burrow and that, but I mean, or were we gonna say that for Josh Allen then? Because
Josh Allen has a better body of work than Joe Burrow, for sure. He's been doing it longer. Like, it's just simple. He has a way better body of work than Joe Burrow by like a year or 2. It's all good. He has better body work. Pat Mahomes only leapfrogged people in 3 years because in 2 years he broke a shit ton of records, won MVP, and won a shit in like 3 years. That's why Pat Mahomes leapfrogged like 4 people to start his career. But now when Pat Mahomes did that shit, now we try to do that shit with everybody else. Slow the fuck down. There's only in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is starting to get there because of what he did this year. But he's like poking his head there. It's like, I'm trying to hop in. Like, y'all see me. And like, yeah, we see you. Like, you probably like 7, 8, 9. Realistically. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think you can really argue for top 5. And if you make a good argument for him being top 5, I'm not going to say no. But like, I mean, definitely have Pat over him. I'm definitely, like, right now, we're going to see what A-Rod do next year, but A-Rod's still one of them dogs in the league. He still had a dog year besides his team was just dog shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably taking, not even probably, I'm taking Josh. Off the talent, hasn't won with a great team, but I think it's more so on the coach than him. I'm still taking Herbie over at Jalen Hurts. Better body of work. Best quarterback through 2 years in the league ever. Gotta tip that. You feel me? And from there on, we could definitely have some arguments. Like, Jalen could be right there in that 5 spot, realistically, to me. But those 4 guys, I think just have a better body of work than him right now. And I think in like another year or two, if Jalen Hurts does the same shit, he's blowing 3 of those guys out the water, but like not right now.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense too. If he does it in something similar in the next season, then
literally, if he has another MVP year next year, it's like, all right, we gotta anoint this guy. Like it's consistent. You know what I mean?
So as we kind of get, away from the Super Bowl and NFL season comes to a close, we saw the Eagles' 2 coordinators leave the team. What are your thoughts with that after losing and Gannon apparently, allegedly, I saw that he had stayed in Arizona after the game, didn't fly back with the team. That was all allegedly that I saw. But what are your thoughts? I mean, you lose the game and then we lose 2 coordinators right after that. Jesus, what a way to kind of end the season.
Jonathan Gannon can go. Hey, all right. Double S was the one I was worried about, but we can. I think the offense was a good bit of mix of Sirianni too. I think that's more system, but Shane Steichen was a hell of a coordinator. I think that's more of a loss than Jonathan Gannon, in my opinion. Jonathan Gannon's probably, he was definitely a talented D coordinator, but I'm not too upset about seeing him go. I'm kind of happy he didn't hop on one plane back and all that. But thanks for everything you did here, JG. But we heard some stories about you as well. I wasn't too upset about that one. Nah.
Yeah, just a different way to end it. We had a very, very fun NFL season. You look at the 2 teams that made the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles. Those were clearly by far the 2 teams that deserved to be in the Super Bowl by their play this season. Really, really thought that Jalen Hurts was going to be the guy to take down Patrick Mahomes. And we can kind of see, what everyone's going to say after that game. And just
you got to fight the refs too.
You got to do that. And then they're going to be like, never bet against Patrick Mahomes. And although that may be true, Eagles had multiple chances. And like I said, I really thought this game was over, by halftime. Just a tough way to go out. We hope you guys enjoyed, all that we've done throughout the NFL season. I know we kind of missed some things with what we were doing with Sleeper in terms of longer form content. We got some big plans coming up for obviously with the NFL season being over. NBA season coming back from the All-Star break. Got some big stuff there, big storylines there. The NHL season is underway with the Bruins smacking down hard on this entire league. So some big things with our other sports, coming in the next couple months. We got, NBA championships, NHL, Stanley Cup finals, Stanley Cup playoffs. It's going to be a fire spring. We're just getting started. If you have not already, followed us on our social media platforms, check us out on Twitter at 8080pod, Instagram at 8080pod. I forgot the damn Twitter.
We're gonna put Jalen Hurts at 4 at the further review. We're gonna put Watch Command at 5.
There you go.
We're gonna put Joe Broadway at 6.
Follow us on TikTok, The All Day Everyday Show. You've been listening to The All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and Manny Ruffin. The NFL is over, the Super Bowl is over, but we're still here. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the fucking next one.